In this video, we are going to learn about object destructuring feature of JavaScript, which I think is one of the most elegant features of newer JavaScript. So here I have defined a variable called main character, and it has the following properties. So if I wanted to have these properties to have their own separate variable, to be defined in their own separate variable, then I would have to do something like this. And as you can see, this main character is repeated so many times, and this is not very clean solution. JavaScript provides a much better way to do this, and it's called destructuring. For that, we use this syntax. Now from this we can say that this is the object we want the properties of, and this is where we define the variables. We have to say which properties we want to have from the object, and so this is how we can get any property that we want, right? uh, so this is how basic destructuring works in JavaScript. You can uh, tell the property name and then destructure it from the object. But for some reason, let's say we wanted to give this property a different name than just how it was defined in the object. For that, we can use renaming feature, and to rename any property, we just have to do something like this. So here I can say character title from main character, right? So let's say if we were to access age from main character, and if it was null or not not really present, if not even present in this object, then we we can define we can say that take this take na string as the default value of this age. All right. Another thing about object destructuring, which is widely used, is so let's say if we only wanted the title property from the main character, um, so it would be similar to taking the title away from main character, and if we were to do something like this, then rest will be defined as a variable which has title removed from main character, but all the properties are still there. So let's see and try to run this. I will have to comment everything else, right? So here you can see the title is Michael Scott, and rest has all other properties that were initially defined in main character, right? So you can rename this rest as something else. You can say Michael, and that would uh, again keep the rest of the properties from the main character object into a new object which is created called Michael, right? Object destructuring does not work only with objects, but it also works with arrays in JavaScript. So let's say if we were to have this uh, array of numbers, and we wanted to um, sum them, right? Or we could do anything with them. Then without object destructuring, we would have to define each variable like this, right? But again, this is not very clean. JavaScript provides a cleaner way to do this, and this is very similar to object destructuring. And this is how you destructure an array into named variables. And we could run this and see the value of ABC, right? And as you can see, 1 2 3 Now let's say we were to have a nested object which we wanted to destructure from. So something like character here, which is named Dwight Schrute, and here I've added the property manager as main character. Now to access again this same character from the nested object, look away. We would do something like um, yeah, we would do the same thing, but again we would face the same challenge as now we would say main character dot title. But instead of doing this, we could we could destructure recursively, sort of. So main character here again, it will be taken away from oh, sorry, this should be manager. So manager will be taken away from this character object, and this, since this is an object, we could further destructure uh, into its property. So we know that this object has title. Now I can say title and image, and I would still get the same value as this object, right? So let's see and run this. Wait, I have already defined them somewhere. Yeah. So again, Michael and this image. All right, cool. So this is how you use object restructuring in JavaScript. I hope you learned something new, and I'll see you in next video. Until then.